From my understanding, it was on Manchester United side they were not so happy, and that's why the situation started to get tense. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, guys, we touch on Manchester United. Big bomb at the club. The director is out. What happened? What's going on? What's next? Let's jump into it together. Ciao guys, it's Fabrizio Romano and today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. Stay connected to the game with live scores, news and video highlights from your favorite teams and leagues, all in one app. You can even customize your feed to get updates on the teams and players you love. So what are you waiting for? Download OneFootball now and never miss a moment of football. The link is in the description below. And so guys, we are here again to discuss about Manchester United because it's been a crazy year, if you think about it. December 23, Sir Jim Ratcliffe entering into Manchester United as new co-owner, many changes, many people joining the management, the decision to keep Erik ten Hag at the end of the season, then new manager Ruben Amorim, many changes in the management with many new faces. And if you remember, in February, an interview of Sir Jim Ratcliffe saying how Dan Ashworth, in his opinion, was one of the best directors in the world. He could make the difference for Manchester United, a very long negotiation between Man United and Newcastle to get the green light for Dan Ashworth to join the club in time for the summer transfer window. A compensation paid by Manchester United, around £2.53 million for Dan Ashworth to become the new Red Devils director, together with other people, of course, the new CEO, Omar Berrada, the other director, Jason Wilcox, and obviously other people in charge, including Christopher Vivel at Manchester United. But what's important to say today is that, breaking news, official, Dan Ashworth leaves Manchester United just 159 days after joining the club. July, December. It's quite shocking, let me say. Not shocking in terms of result of what happened between Dan Ashworth and Manchester United, especially Dan Ashworth and the owner, so Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But in general, in terms of timing, how much Manchester United not just paid, but spent in terms of negotiations, in terms of time in order to have Dan Ashworth to coordinate the new era of Manchester United, but also how disappointed is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who is the crucial person in the story of Dan Ashworth leaving Manchester United. Let me clarify immediately that Ruben Amorim is not part of this story. So, no problem between Dan Ashworth and Ruben Amorim. If you look at the pictures of when Ruben Amorim arrived in Manchester at Carrington for the first time to become new Man United coach, Dan Ashworth was there. In all the pictures, Dan Ashworth was introducing Ruben Amorim to the new world of Manchester United, was taking his time to prepare the new era with Ruben Amorim. There's never been any problem between Amorim and Dan Ashworth. So, let's start saying that Amorim is not part of this situation and Amorim doesn't have any kind of responsibility. So, no tension, no problems, no issues, nothing about that. But what's important to say on Manchester United is that the problem was between Dan Ashworth and the view of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. This is what sources guarantee. The situation was quite tense. Why? Because if you look at what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said even before the game yesterday, Man United lost at home against Nottingham Forest, and obviously with Ruben Amorim, who keeps repeating that it takes time to build this new era, to see the new tactical view of the coach, and he's absolutely right, because it's going to take time to prepare everything, to rebuild everything, so Amorim deserves and needs time. But even before the game, Sir Jim Ratcliffe on the fanzine of Manchester United started saying some very big things, making people understand how tense was the situation. He started saying that some unpopular decisions were needed to change the situation at Manchester United, that he didn't want Manchester United to be a mediocre club, so the level has to change, and also he was touching on the recruitment. And that's the crucial part of the story. Because Sir Jim Ratcliffe said that the recruitment at Manchester United must be the best in the world. He wants that to be the best in the world. That's a very crucial point for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And it's fair to say that in these months, July to December, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Dan Ashworth, the sporting director of Manchester United, had a different view on few things. So, in terms of not just players to join the club, but in general, the view they had at the club was different. After working together, they noticed that it was almost impossible to continue in the same way, including on the manager, for example, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe believes that having a management deciding to confirm Erik ten Hag as head coach at the end of the season, and Man United met with several coaches at the end of the last season. Some of these coaches were Thomas Tuchel, for sure, who was close to becoming the new Manchester United manager. Another one was Roberto De Zerbi, another candidate for the job. So there were several candidates to become new Manchester United coach. Ten Hag was close to being fired even after winning the FA Cup at the end of the season against Manchester City. But in that moment, the management and so the sporting director, the view of the new management with Dan Ashworth was to confirm Erik ten Hag. Then terrible start to the season, and to have a new coach after just 2-3 months is seen as a defeat by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So it's about the decision with the manager strategy they had at the club, so especially what happened with what they wanted to do with Erik ten Hag at the end of the season, and then also in terms of recruitment. For Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the view on the recruitment of Manchester United has to look a different direction. So it's about young players, talented players, players for present and future, but also in terms of investment. Sir Jim Ratcliffe knows how the next years with financial fair play are not going to be that easy. So sell players, offload players, let some players go. For example, Christian Eriksen, these sort of players. I don't want to mention the single ones, but Eriksen is out of contract in the summer. They are not negotiating a new deal, and so many things have to change, according to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, to have a new shape of Manchester United. And Ruben Amorim is also in that direction. So if they appointed Ruben Amorim as a coach, it's because Ruben Amorim has the same view. You remember what I told you on YouTube here on my channel several times when they appointed Amorim. He wants intensity. He wants players to run. He wants players with a modern approach to the game. He wants players who can be perfect for Premier League style and for Man United new style under Amorim. And this is the view he wants at the club, and these are the kind of signings they are going to do at Manchester United. Players ready to run. Obviously the quality is crucial, but ready to run a lot. When Ruben Amorim says run like mad dogs, this is the direction. Intensity. Remember what I told you several times. That's crucial for Ruben Amorim. And so with Dan Ashworth, sometimes the view was different. Also on what kind of players they needed, also what kind of approach they needed. They saw that the view was different. That's why, from my understanding, it was on Manchester United side they were not so happy. And that's why the situation started to get tense with Dan Ashworth, and they decided to part ways, to reach a mutual agreement and to say goodbye to each other. Dan Ashworth is an important director. He had many possibilities before joining Manchester United. Newcastle were fighting to keep him at the club, so Newcastle tried their best. He always has many clubs interested in him, but in this case was Manchester United, and especially Sir Jim Ratcliffe, to push on this. What's next for Man United? Follow, obviously, this new view, young players, talented, but also ready to run. Follow the view of Ruben Amorim, so intensity is going to be crucial. The manager is going to be important. And now the structure, especially with Jason Wilcox and obviously Omar Berrad and all the others, to point in this new direction for Manchester United in this new era already, without the former sporting director after 159 days. It's over between United and Dan Ashworth. And so guys, tell me your thoughts on Manchester United project in general, how you see that. I wait for your comments here. As always, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.